Hello everyone, welcome on in. It's Betting Weekly WTA, a new week on the WTA Tour, and we're heading across to the Far East. And delighted to say joining me to look ahead to this week's two tournaments, a 250 and a 500, is our WTA handicapper. It is Rory Jiwani. Good afternoon to you, Rory.
Good afternoon. How are you, Nigel? You soaking up the sun?
Yes, my last full day in Crete, beautiful island off Greece. Absolutely stunning. Weather's been amazing. I think they know we're going home today because it's got overcast. So what can you do in overcast weather? You've got to find a taverna with Sky Sports and watch the North London Derby. Can't think of anything better. Fantastic. Looking forward to that this afternoon. And what I'm looking forward to this afternoon is cheering on our gal, Magdalena Freck, through to the final in Guadalajara at 20-1. We've got the each way, and now we've got a free hit on the win market.
Yeah, that was a nice surprise. I said that she looked overpriced, given her draw. I think the two other players I was interested in that top half were Marie Bauskova and Aisling Kruger. Freck beat Kruger in round two, and she's marched on. She beat Caroline Garcia last night in straight sets, and now she faces Olivia Gadecki in the final, the Australian who's in her first WTA Tour final, having a brilliant week. Hitting the ball really well. So not going to be easy for Freck tonight. But she is the favourite. And as you say, it's a free hit. We've got her in the final at 20-1. And hopefully she can finish the job. And, you know, what was the other? Who was my other pick in that tournament? Oh, yes, Caroline Dolehide. She went out in the first round to Martina Trevisan, which was a bit of a surprise. It has played a bit slower than expected, certainly slower than last year. But one of these tournaments at the end of the season where you've had a lot of shocks. I mean, goodness me. I mean, Danielle Collins fell at the first hurdle to Gadecki. Jelena Ostapenko lost her opener to Marina Stakusic. They both served 17 double faults, and Ostapenko was 4-love up in the third and somehow managed to lose. So it's been a funny old tournament.
Not only has it been a funny old tournament in Guadalajara, it's been a bit of a funny old tournament in Tunisia as well. I mean, Our pick there, Mertens, which was our strongest pick of the year. I know we've got Freck, and we're not going to win or lose much on the week if Freck doesn't win. If she wins, we're going to have a great week with a 20-1 winner. But we did go 4 points win, and that match was one of the most strangest matches I've seen on the WTA Tour Canada this year. How did she lose from that position?
Absolutely no idea. She won the first set 6-1, 2-love up, 40-15 up in the second, absolutely cruising against Evelise, and then the wheels came off. She made a couple of errors. She got one bad line call, which seemed to really affect her, which you wouldn't expect. She's been around a fair amount of time. She's 35 and very experienced, but her game just went. Lise won the next 10 games in a row. 4-love up in the decider. Mertens came back to 4-all, went to a tie break. We had a rain delay before the tie break, and Lise took it. I mean, she did play some really good stuff at the end, but she shouldn't have been allowed back into it. And it was a very disappointing one. But that's been a mad tournament. You've had Sone Cartel, the Brit, who I couldn't believe she was sent off favourite in her opener, and quite a strong favourite against Jacqueline Christian. Cartel, she's won a couple of ITF tournaments. She had a decent run at Wimbledon. But in these very slow conditions in Tunisia, I thought she might struggle. But she beat Christian. She shouldn't have beaten Christian. Christian blew it. She was 4-2 up in the third. And she's been sent off favourite each time, and she's won each time. And she's into her first WTA final, Cartel, against Rebecca Sramkova. Just an incredible tournament. We knew it was a weak 250. Mertens should have won it hard held, but she didn't. And so we've got Cartel Sramkova in the final.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose we've got a word of caution for everybody now going into this stage of the year where it's been a long season. We've seen some big players like Collins, Ostapenko not turning up. Strange results for Mertens. We go into the funny type of season now with results, and we've seen it with the two outright tournaments. Obviously, not your pick, Frick, because that was the value, and we're on it. But, you know, some of the matches have been heavy favourites being turned over, and probably a word of caution for anyone betting on the WTA. It's always a very nervy kind of event to bet on the women's tennis, but this stage of the year, it's even more so. We've got two tournaments this week. We have 500 in Korea, which we're going to start with, and we have a 250 over in Thailand. Let's let's have a look at the career one before we go through the draw and the runners and riders and the odds. What conditions are there going to be in store for the players over in Seoul this week?
Well, the conditions, court speed last year was on the slow side of medium, 63.8% service hold, 64% first serve win percentage. So to give you some idea, that played a bit slower than Indian Wells last year, so certainly not quick. Going to be hot and humid all week. Temperatures early 30s Celsius, so that's mid to high 80s Fahrenheit. A bit of rain about, but not enough to cause undue disruption, you wouldn't have thought.
Yeah, let's have a look at the draw. Before we look at the draw, give you some previous winners here. Last year it was won by Jessica Pegula in 2023. 2022, Alexandrova. Mukova won it in 2019. Jai won it in 2021 as well. No real sort of player there who stand out saying that's the kind of conditions we expect. There's a mixture of kind of different players who've won this tournament. And let's have a look at the draw. Obviously, the Iga Swiatek, the world number one, was due to play, but she pulled out a couple of days ago, which means now the number one seed is Kasatkina. And as all 500 events on the WTA Tour, the top four seeds receive buys through to the round of 16. So Kasatkina is already into the last 16. If it goes to form, she'll play one in the quarterfinal. Schneider will play Kostyuk. That's in Q2. Q3 sees Alexandrova and Haddad Maia. Q4, Putinetseva and Samsonova. But there are some dangerous floaters around in the draw. In Q1, we have Stevens, we have Raducanu, we have some very, very interesting Stearns as well in that quarter. Q2 looks a little bit easier. Q3, we have Freck, who could be coming here as a winner, hopefully. Tomljanovic. And in Q4, Putinetseva starts off with probably the toughest assignment of all against an in-form Anisimova. So there are some dangerous areas of the draw. Q2 looks the most favourable section of the draw to me. And here are the odds currently with Bet Rivers, and they really find it quite hard to find a favourite. Diana Schneider, the in-form Russian who's had a great year this year, she's $5. Haddad Maia is plus 550. Emma Raducanu plus 550. I mean, I just cannot understand that price at all. But hopefully you're not going to tip Raducanu now. Samsonova is plus 550. Kostyuk at 550. Kasatkina 9. Alexandrova 9. Anisimova 12. Peyton Stearns 14. Putinetseva 14. Magdalena Freck, who could be going for back-to-back wins, he's 25. Kudermetova is 28. One is 33. Sloane Stevens at 40. Tomljanovic also at 50. And Tomova at 40. Schneider is the favourite, $5. She's had a great year, the number 4 seed. Pretty easy section of the draw. Her and Kostyuk should get through the quarterfinals and meet each other. But favourites may be worth fading this time of the year. What are your thoughts on this draw here?
Yeah, I mean, you touched on, obviously, Swiatek's not there. Pegula, last year's champion, she pulled out with a rib injury. Jelena Rybakina has a back injury. She pulled out. Emma Navarro opted to skip this. So for a 500, it's pretty average. Kasatkina, Daria Kasatkina is a top seed. She's not in great form. As I said, the court speed isn't that quick, so you'd think that would be against number 2 seed Lyudmila Samsonova. Beatrice Haddad-Maia showed some good form at the US Open. She did reach the final in Cleveland before that, but lost to McCartney Kessler in the final. Schneider looks the form pick. And at $5, I don't think is a bad price. As you say, her draw isn't the worst early on. And you'd think she would meet Marta Kostyuk in the quarterfinals. That could be an interesting clash. I think the winner of that match goes through to the final. I mean, in the first quarter, Peyton Stearns, Emma Raducanu is an eye-catching first-round match.
How could Emma Raducanu honestly be plus 550 to win this tournament?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see that at all. I mean, on her best form, sure, but she hasn't shown it in a while. Didn't get very far. Well, fell at the first hurdle in the US Open. And I wouldn't have thought these conditions would be quick enough for her. She's very capable, obviously, on her day. She's a Grand Slam winner, but that looks very short based on what we've seen from her recently. And she's a big favourite against Peyton Stearns. I think I saw plus 140. Sorry, minus one.
I can't understand that at all.
Yeah, sorry, minus 150 around that sort of thing. So Stearns, especially slower surface, we were successful with Stearns earlier in the year in Rabat. That was on clay, but these courts might suit Stearns, so I might be interested in the American to beat Raducanu first up. The winner of that match plays Hua Yuan, almost certainly. Although I say that, Hua Yuan, we've had the qualifiers overnight, and Hua Yuan is up against Elena Gabriela Rus from Romania, who beat Barbara Krejcika at the US Open and then gave Paula Badosa an almighty scare. Rusa could be interesting in this. Conditions might not be as quick as she'd like it, but she could give Yuan a scare in the first round. And in the top of that top quarter, obviously, you've got number one seed Kazatkina, who's just not been in good form recently. So it's between Schneider and Kostyuk for me in the top half, and I'd have to go for Schneider on form and the slowness of the court. She won in Thailand, the Hua Hin tournament earlier in the year, and obviously they're playing again in Thailand this week, 250. Schneider won there in very slow conditions. This is a bit quicker. She's won, 3 tournaments this year. She did well at the US Open before running into Jessica Pegula. There's no one of that quality in this field. I like Schneider for this tournament. I know, obviously, we've seen events this week and favourites not necessarily to be trusted, but I think Schneider's worth a 1 point each way bet outright at $5.
Yeah, Schneider plus $5. She is obviously the player in form on the draw. I mean, if in the bottom half of the draw, I think that Q2 is definitely one of the weakest sections of the draw. I also think Q4 is very weak as well. And obviously, with it being slow, I'd want to be fading Samsonova at price $5.50. And a player that I think is going to win a tournament at a very big price, and someone I think could end the season quite strong. And she was unlucky with her draw to be drawn against Kim Min-jae at the US Open. But I think Anisimova is going to win a tournament at a big price. I know she's got Putinetseva in round one, but you know, if she wins that match, she's currently $12. If she wins that match, I think she'll be tournament favourite. So I quite like a little play on Anisimova for me as well here.
I always thought you might go for Putintseva because you've backed her before and I've backed her before. I'm going to go for Putintseva again. I think whoever wins that match has a great chance of going deep. And I just think the slightly slower conditions favour Putintseva. The other doubt with Anisimova is her durability. You know, can she get through a tournament? I mean, she did get to the final earlier this year. What was it? Toronto, I think it was. I'm still a little bit unsure about her. I think she's got a chance, though, in that bottom half. I mean, third quarter, Ekaterina Alexandrova, former winner, she's seeded 7. She could meet Magdalena Freck, who I'm sure will be exhausted after. You know, if she wins tonight, hopefully she'll win tonight. Then she's got to get over from Mexico to South Korea. That's a bit of an ask. Beatrice Haddad-Meyer's in there as well. But the fourth quarter, you know, I think whoever wins Putintseva, between Putintseva and Anisimova, will go quite a long way. So my other bet, a half a point each way on Putintseva. See, she threw the dummy at the US Open. There was quite an unseemly incident with a ball girl where the ball girl threw the balls back at her and she just let them go and looked at her. And yeah, she is temperamental. We know this, but she's shown this year what a good player she can be. She beat Swiatek at Wimbledon. She has some good form. She's probably playing the best tennis of her life. And I'm surprised to see her as big as $14, to be honest. Thought she'd be a little bit shorter. I didn't think she'd be a bigger price than Raducanu, let's put it that way. But Putintseva, half point each way at $14. Anisimova, I do think it's between those two in the bottom half, but preference for me for Putintseva.
Yeah, maybe worth betting both of them, or it's a pick and match. Whoever wins it will get through to I believe will get through to the final. So maybe have a little bit each way on both of them. I'm going to go for Anisimova. So difference of opinion here. So I'm going for Anisimova.
Hopefully one of us is in the final.
Well, I just think that the other thing as well is that Putnitseva is suddenly going to have a lot of the crowd against her. I know it's not really not hostile. I mean, Seoul, I can't imagine the South Koreans being very hostile, but I think that she's suddenly gone from she's a player that everyone's knows now for the wrong reasons. And with their antics at the US Open, so I think she might get a little bit of a frosty reception from the players and from the media. So
she's used to it. I mean, she's got form. I mean, it's not the first time she's done something like this. She's quite often the pantomime villain. Whenever her or Ostapenko is the other one who they let's say they polarise opinion and they can get the odd frosty reception, but Putnitseva is used to it. She did apologise after that incident, but there was really no excuse for it. She should know better.
So there is our predictions in Seoul. Deanna Schneider is the H-way pick at the top half, and the bottom half, Putnitseva from Rory, and I'm going to go for a first-round opponent, Anisimova. Head across to the Bet Rivers website to take your pick to see the prices. The odds will be available all day today and for much of the day tomorrow as well. It's a late start on Monday when the tournament gets underway. While you're on, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, Betting Weekly Studios. Huge amount of you are joining us at a very, very fast rate. I think it's the fastest growing tennis betting YouTube channel there is. A huge amount of subscribers. Keep it coming. Tell your friends. Keep score crummy. Give us any comments, anything you want, any questions you have for any of the team. We're happy to answer the questions as well. That is the one tournament, the main tournament this week over in Seoul. And we move to the second tournament, which is a 250 event. Now, this one is anybody's event. This is a tournament over in Thailand. And the players in here aren't really much of many household names, even in their own households. So I don't think this is anything to really get too excited about. Rory, Thailand, this is the first time this tournament has been on the WTA calendar, I believe, and it's going to be hard to find any trends or any sort of, obviously, and there's nothing to go on in previously, but what are your research found us here?
The thing is, so this is a weird one. So this is the first time it's taking place this time of year. But they played this tournament in early February this year and in February last year. So we do have some form to go on. Yet strangely, this tournament is happening twice in a year in Hua Hin, where I think the tickets are free. Pretty sure tickets are free because no one turns up.
Sean Calvert will be on the next plane. Sean Calvert will be he's on his way to Heathrow now.
I mean, basically, because no one turns up. It's the middle of nowhere. It's slow. I mean, well, actually, I say that. Last year, it played the slowest on the WTA tour, slower than any clay court tournaments. Very similar to Monastir last year, which was deathly slow as well. It was a bit quicker this year. Service hold percentage around 64, almost 10% higher than last year. Deanna Schneider won it in February. She beat Lin Zhu in the final. Zhu won the title the year before, beating Lesia Surenko. That was the first time it had been held for 3 years. Magda Linette won it in 2020 and Diana Yastremska in 2019. That was the first edition. And those two are quite high up in the betting. Conditions-wise, yes, it's slow. And I think the weather's going to be pretty warm all week. And, similar to Seoul, it's going to be pretty hot and humid. And with slow courts, it's going to be a bit of a stamina test. There is a bit of rain due, but, we are looking 30 degrees Celsius, mid-80s Fahrenheit all week. So it is going to be a bit of a test of stamina. As you say, it's not the strongest field by any stretch. Siniarkova's the favourite, plus 500. This is, she does tend to perform quite well at this time of year. She won a 250 in China in October last year. Diana Yastremska's the number one seed. I think that probably tells you you need to know about the quality of the field. But it's it's a trappy one, like the ones we've had this week.
Let's have a look at the draw to whet your appetite. Jastrzębska is the number 1 seed, as Rory said. She's at the top half of the draw. She's scheduled to play Uchijima. I think I've said that right. The number 7 seed to get through to the quarterfinals. Then we have a mouth-watering quarterfinal, Wang v Wang. Watch your Wangs. Watch out. The Wangs are out. Number 3 seed Wang will play Sheriff. Which one is the number 3 seed? Is it Jinyi Wang? I think.
So we had this problem in February because I remember I backed Yafan Wang.
Yeah, there was a lot of Wangs in.
Two other Wangs. There were a lot of Wangs in this tournament. So Jinyu Wang, the right-hander, is the number 5 seed, and Jiyu Wang. No, hang on, I'm getting them mixed up.
Here we go. Get your
So
Wangs.
Jiyu Wang, who's the 5th seed, the left-hander, she's playing Maya Sheriff.
Yep.
I'm going to double check that.
No, she's number 3 seed Wang is playing Sheriff, not the number 5 seed.
3, right?
Yep.
Sorry, 3 seed Jiyu Wang, the left-hander, is playing. No, I'm getting it completely wrong. Right, Jinyu Wang is playing Maya Sheriff, the right-hander. She's the number 3 seed, and Jiyu Wang, the left-hander, the number 5 seed. I can't remember who she's playing now. Probably got him.
Just make sure you don't get the wrong Wang.
Yeah,
that's all you're going to do. Just well, one of the Wangs.
I've already got the wrong one here. Yeah, but Jiyu Wang, the left-hander, is playing Victoria Golubic in round 1.
But if they both win and they both play each other in the quarter final. We've got a Wang Wang quarter final. Bottom half they go I can never pronounce this correct. Grachiva. I always get it wrong for some reason. Grachiva. She plays Lynette in the quarterfinals. Then Volanets plays Siniakova in the quarterfinals. Now, please, let's hope we don't have any Wangs betting any Wangs because we're going to confuse everybody here. What's your opinion? Where's the value here? I look. You're not tipping a Wang, surely.
I am tipping a Wang again.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I think it's the Wang
top
selection.
Half. Yeah, it's the wrong Wang. Top half. Jastrzębska's lost 4 matches in a row. She should have it pretty easy in her first couple of rounds, but she's not a player to be trusted, although she is a previous winner of this tournament. I do think the winner of the top half is going to come from that second quarter, and I'm going to go for Jinyu Wang, the 3rd seed, the right-hander, who's playing Maya Sheriff.
Yep.
She actually reached the semi-finals in February and went out to Deanna Schneider, who went on to win it. And she's consistent. She does beat the players she's supposed to, which is quite a good quality, especially this time of year in these tournaments. I can't see her having any issue with Sheriff, who's awful away from clay. Anna Bondar or Rebecca Masarova in round 2 doesn't look too difficult. Masarova's not bad on her day and has a good serve, but conditions probably a bit slow for her. And then it would be Jiyu Wang, the left-hander, in the quarterfinals. Jastrzębska perhaps in the semis. None of these look too difficult on paper. She hasn't reached a WTA Tour final yet, but this does look a good opportunity for Jinyu Wang. And she's plus 750.
Yeah.
Which I don't think's that bad a price. So I'm going to go for a point each way for Jinyu Wang.
Jinyu Wang is plus 750. They give you some odds from all the other leaders, runners and riders. Siniakova is the favourite. She's the number 2 seed. She's plus $5. Jastrzębska, obviously in a terrible run of form, but she is the number 1 seed. She's plus 650. Good record here. Magdalene is plus 750. Jinyu Wang, the number 3 seed, his Rory selection. In the top half of the draw, she's 750. Jihu Wang is $9. Clara Towson is always in or around these sort of fields like this. She's $12. Katie Volanets is 14. Maya Sheriff is 16, who plays our pick Jinyu Wang in round 1. She's 16. Krejcikova is 16. Sigmund 18. Alicia Parks 20. Podoroska 20. Golubic is 20. Masarova is 22. Bondar 25 to 1. So that's the main pick in the top half of the draw. Is there anything at a bigger price in the bottom half you want to go for? Or are we just going to stick with the main pick?
Not a bigger price. I mean, looking at the seeds, Volanets is not on great form. She's lost 3 on the bounce, albeit in better company. Grachova's in dreadful form. Magdalenette, who won for us in Prague not so long ago, she was playing okay until she lost in the first round of the US Open to the American youngster Iva Jovic. I think if you forgive that, she's got a chance. I mean, you've got, I think in that bottom half, Rebecca Sramkova's in the final in Monastir, so she's going to be tired. I think Lynette is the one in the bottom half. As I say, she's not been in bad form. If you take out that defeat in New York, I think she's got a chance. She did win this tournament in 2020. Plus 750 again. I prefer Jinyu Wang in the top half, to be honest. I think it's going to be easier for her. Siniakova doesn't get it done. I mean, she had a chance in Cleveland, couldn't get it done there. Although everyone lost to McCartney Kessler that week. I'm going to just have half a point each way on Lynette at plus 750. She's already won a tournament for us this year. She doesn't mind this time of year. She has won this tournament before. And in a bottom half, which looks pretty open, I'd give her a bit of a chance. So just half a point each way on Lynette.
Yeah, so both our picks are currently available plus 750 with Bet Rivers. Head across to the app and check out the specials page. There'll be a load of specials on the tennis this week. Magda Lynette is plus 750. Jinhu Wang is plus 750. Jinhu Wang is a 1 point each way. Magda Lynette is a half a unit each way. I did say make sure you subscribe to the Betting Weekly Studios. Make sure you give us a like and a comment on here. It sets the algorithms off. It makes the more viewers and more people can see the content we do here. So if you are enjoying the shows, please make sure that you give us a like and a subscribe as well. You can also subscribe to all the handicappers on our socials at Because We Win, the account shared by all the different handicappers here, which are broadcasting all the shows. And obviously this week we've got a huge amount of shows coming your way. We have the daily live show at 11 o'clock Eastern time every day, Monday to Friday. And next week it's the start of the Champions League, the new look Champions League. So there's lots of content going to be on there throughout the week next week. Obviously there is a tennis show with myself and Sean Calvert, Betting Weekly Game Bet Match. That will be released tomorrow because obviously the scheduling is a Wednesday start now as the tournament goes to the Far East. So we'll be recording Tuesday we'll be recording on that, and that will drop on Tuesday. If you followed all the picks on this show so far, you are minus 0.81 on the WTA profit and loss. But obviously if we get a winner tonight, that profit boost will go up by 10 points. We'll be over 10, almost 11 units up on the season, and hopefully we can continue that to the conclusion over the next of the tennis season over the next couple of months. So Rory, before I let you go, some people may just join the show. Just give us a recap of your picks this week on both tournaments.
Yeah, just to note, Siniaka actually lost to Haddad Maia in Cleveland rather than McCartney Kessler, but she had a great chance. She got to semis, a tournament she probably should have won. But anyway, our picks for this week in Seoul at the Korea Open. Deanna Schneider, 1 point each way at $5, and Yulia Putintseva, half a point each way at $14. And in the Thailand Open in Hua Hin, Jinyu Wang, plus 750, a point each way, and Magda Lynette, the same price, plus 750, but half a point each way on the pole.
There are our picks. Hopefully we can cash tonight on Magdalena Frick. Hopefully we can cash next week as well as the tournaments move to the Far East. Rory, thank you very much as always for joining me on a Sunday afternoon. Enjoy what's left of your weekend. Have a good week as well. Thanks very much for watching. Good luck with your tickets, and let's cash some more tickets over the week. Take care. Rory, thanks for your time, and speak to you all again next week.